because he won't leave me alone if I don't.
That's for sure.
There I go. 'Twas in September 93 I was on the Hogan stand for that great All-Ireland final, and the football show was grand. Billy Morgan and the Corkmen served up such gallant play, but they failed to match the Derrymen who went on to win the day. And as the crowds were filing out, there was thousands on the street. I saw an old grey-haired man remaining in his seat. And as I passed beside him, I could see to my surprise, as he gazed around the park, the tears swelled in his eyes. I sat right down beside him and I asked if he was well. The old man shrugged his shoulders and then began to tell how memories come flooding back when I see such great display, when I picture so many former stars who excelled in other days. For more than 50 golden years I've gone to many games. I remember famous matches and legendary names. And I thank the Lord who spared me, for it was my desire to see the men from Derry take home the Sam Maguire. Look over there, young fella, do you see that mighty crane? It tells me that our dear Croke Park will never be the same. To start tomorrow morning to take down the Cusick stand, it never more will re-echo the Artane Boys' famous band. I suppose they call it progress, but nothing can stand still, and I would not be surprised to see a roof across the hill. But still I'll hardly see it, for what time I have left is brief, so I'll just retain the memories of the triumphs and the grief. I remember well the 40s when Roscommon, bold and true, was led by Jimmy Murray with their saffron and their blue. And they played the mighty kingdom and they matched them man for man. I can still see Jig O'Connor, Paddy Bawn and Joe Cohan. I was here in 1945 when the Corkmen came and won, with Jack Lynch and Whissy Murphy, Jimmy Cronin and Eamon Young. And I well recall the Cavanmen who were captained by John Joe, Simon Dayton and Mick Higgins, Gunnar Brady and Owen Rowe. I was here in 1951 when Mayo defeated me. With the tension and the excitement, sure a man could hardly breathe. 'Twas the year of the great full back, and no better could you find than the fearless Paddy Prendergast and Paddy Hans O'Brien. Sean Flanagan was brilliant, Pather Kearney was supreme, and you could not stop Tom Langan when he donned red and green. Paddy Meegan was a flyer, Frankie Bevan was hard to stop, and the man who took some watching was McDermott with the cap. But perhaps the greatest influence on the football game I knew was that famous 50s football team, the Dublin Boys in Blue. Still the Kerrymen could match them, and they were never known to yield, when the famous Mick O'Connell remained supreme at centre field. With Sean Murphy, Kevin Crofty and the wire firmly set, and Johnny Coglerty in goals, it was hard to find the net. But the 57 winners was the Loudman brave and fine, and the captain of the champions was a clubman named O'Brien. September 1960 saw the kingdom lose their crown. They were beaten well in double scores by the mighty men of Down. A goal from James McCartan set the Downmen's hearts on fire, and when across the border it was a first for Sam Maguire. The next year they met awfully with McCasey, Greg Hughes and the captain Willie Nolan. What excitement they infused. The Downmen won by a pint, and champions did remain, when more than 90,000 fans were present for that game. And Galway in the 50s I can still remember best. Jack Mangan, Mick Greeley, Frankie Stockwell and the rest. And the greatest football genius I have ever seen by far. Yes, it has to be Sean Purcell, that magnificent tomb star. And Galway in the 60s was a treat for all their fans. The Donlans and the Keenans, Noel Tierney had great hands. If you ask me what's the greatest team, I would really have to say 'twas Kerry in the 80s with Pat Spillane and Jack O'Shea. It's very strange, the old man said, how all these memories last. I remember 50 years ago, but forget the recent past. I'm thinking of the other greats, real heroes in their day, who never won a title after years of brilliant play. Sean Armstrong from Antrim, Eddie Devlin from Tyrone, and the stalwart Frank McGuigan, and the brilliant Nicky Jones. Bill Goodison from Wexford, Bill McCully from Armagh, and the fair-haired Willie Casey from the town of Ballina. Roscommon had O'Malley, what a credit to the game. And then came Dermot Early, another famous name. There was Sligo's, Mickey Cairns, Burns, Murphy and Nace O'Dowd, and Wicklow's Jerry O'Reilly and Jim Rogers done them proud. I remember Andy Phillips too, who never dropped the ball, and the famous Neely Gallagher, the pride of Donegal. Bill Delaney and his brothers were leashmen of renown, and the boy wonder, Tommy Murphy, from old great Cullen Town. I remember famous Lily Whites, Perry Connolly and Tom Carew, and I remember Ollie Crehan, he was a good one too. There was Corkman, Eric Crine and McGarry from Westmeath, who with Cavan's Jim MacDonald had such power, skill and speed. Let's not forget the Leitrim in the Storm and the likes of Peking McGarry, we will never see again. There was Denny's Jim McGeever and Sean O'Connell knew no fear, but they never got a hand on Sam, though they stared for many a year. No. The crowd was still departing, so we both got up to go. The old man took me by the hand and he said, I'm sure you know. There's one I haven't mentioned yet, the greatest of the Gael. No words can do him justice, suffers all fails. His majestic contribution to the game we love so dear, since August 1938, we acknowledge and revere. He filled our homes with atmosphere and his talent was so rare. He's that great, great commentator, our beloved Micheál O'Hare.